This screencast is looking at how we can use learning analytics in the classroom to be able to increase the outcomes and maybe the enjoyment of school life for some of our students. It's not using big data like the stuff from NAPLAN and those kind of things, but it uses data that you can gather from a number of teachers really quickly and to be able to pull it apart and have a look at it to see what you can do to help kids. So the first thing we start with is just a list of the kids that we're going to be looking at and the year levels and those kind of things in. And I've made a spreadsheet that's got these headers. It's got name, year, subject. I'm really interested in attitude of work, how they work with others, whether they're doing homework, how they're applying themselves in the class, and their results. I don't really necessarily need a grade, but you could put a grade there if you wanted to. But I'm just looking quite generally because I want to get a snapshot of how these kids are travelling. You can change any of these headings, it doesn't matter. Down here I've just got the names of the 4 kids that I'm looking at, and I've just got the year levels that we run in our school. Okay, this does not mean that Freddie here is in year 7 and he just does maths and he's excellent. These are the information that we're going to use to build our Google form. So that's all saved there. You can change it and do whatever you want. I now come into my Google form. Hopefully you've seen some Google Forms and you can actually know how they roll. So I've actually got a Learning Analytics in the Classroom demo, and I've got it sitting here and it's pretty cool, and I've actually done some questions beforehand, but I want to show why we use that spreadsheet beforehand. So if I come to student name here, I want to edit it, and at the moment I've got no students in here, you can see here. But if I jump back across to my information and highlight these 4 kids here, come back to here and just click on that first thing there and do Control V or paste. If I go to Control V and paste it there, what you'll find is I can then paste down the number, the things that was in that column. So as you go through, you just populate your form by using the information from that sheet. And let's go done. So I've got those kids there. And you can see all the way down, I've got it done for the application in class, the homework, the results, and those kind of things. One of the things you will notice is that I have used these kind of measures here. You can change these measures to be whatever. I've got them the same across every area because I want to be able to analyze quite easily. You can change that if you want, but I've just kind of gone for the easy option. Once I've got this form, I can then send this to people and teachers to fill out. When you look at the form, you'll see that the student's name, the year level, and all these ones here with a red star next to them are ones that must be filled out. Down the bottom I've got the option to be able to do comments, because comments can sometimes help, but they're not compulsory. So if the staff doesn't want to do it, that's all cool. When we've done that, what we can do is then send this as a link to other people. So one nice way of doing it is just sending a link to the live form, and this is what the form looks like when it's live, and this is on a laptop. Okay, so you get this like this. So you can then enter the student's name. I want to do, I know, Derek. He's in year 11. His learning area is language. That's what we're looking at. He is good, below par in there, good in there, below par in there, and excellent in his results. Don't know why. Go submit, and now that gets recorded. The other thing you can do, which is really quite nifty, is to go to our form here, view live form, and with this URL at the top, copy it, paste it, put it in an email and email it to someone so they get it on their phone. They can then open it on their phone and they can fill this out on it. Also, because phones have voice recognition on them, you can actually just do a voice recognition for the comment. So you can click on the comment, hit the microphone and just speak into it and it will record it for you. It works really well. So that's another nice little workaround where you can actually develop that. Also on an iOS device, you can open that link on the from the email, and then you can say save to homepage. And what that will do is that'll put a link that will go straight to this form from your homepage. So when you have your phone, all you have to do is hit the icon, it will fire up, and away you go. Works really well. Once we have that, we have all our data coming in. You can see here that we've got the data. This is on my responses form, my Learning Analytics responses form. These resources are also on this site. You can grab them. And we've got these things coming in. So we've got the people coming in and it's working out really quite nicely. As this goes on, this will populate. You can see that at the moment we've only got one comment, and that's for Cassie, who gets a bit distracted by Betty there. So that's quite good. And this will just populate with staff as you go. I'm really interested in the data analysis. I want to pull this apart so I can help my teachers. So if I click on this next page, you'll see what I've done is I've grabbed these students and I've actually got them in alphabetical order. You can group them in any way you want. And I've also got across here their results and see what's going on. So there's a couple of cool little tricks to do this. Okay. The first thing is a thing that Google does very well, which is called import range. Because these sheets are living in the cloud, you've got to be able to import a range of data. So you'll see that what's at the top here, I've typed in equals import range, and then I get this line here. The first one is the actual link to this spreadsheet. The next one tells me what page I need to go to and what range I want to grab, and that will grab the range of information that comes from that first page. So it's not my raw data I've got here. My raw data is on my form responses tab, but this is the data that I've got and I've imported so I can play with it. So if I muck this up, it doesn't matter. So it's pretty quite cool. So let's have a look at the different parts. This first bit here, the HTTPS, is this bit up here on your menu bar for your actual URL of that sheet. So I copy that in there. So then the machine knows I've got to go and find that sheet. This next bit here, this form responses, tells me what page I'm going to grab and the range I'm going to go to. And once again, it's in quotation marks. It needs to be in quotation marks. So I got form responses 1 with an exclamation mark next to it. Then I've gone A2 to J100. So when I come back to here, I'm going to grab everything from A2, which is my first column. My last column is J, and I'm going to go down to 100. You can make that 1,000, 2,000, it doesn't matter. It'll just work every single time. And then with the data analysis, it comes in like this. So it's quite cool. It sucks the data in. Over here, I've just recorded everything, but I've put some conditional formatting in here. Conditional formatting allows you to change what the cells look like based on the response. So let's have a look at how that rolls. So I'll just highlight this section here. I've actually highlighted the whole lot, but I'll just grab this bit here and do right mouse click. And you'll see this little menu will pop up. So right mouse click, and you come down here and it's got conditional formatting right at the bottom. If you click on that, it comes up with my conditional formatting. So what I've done is I've just typed in here, I've typed in, if the text in that cell contains the word excellent, I want to make my background color green. I can also make my text green. Let's do that and see how that rolls. If my text contains good, I want my text color to be this aqua color, because these are the codes that I'm using. If my text contains average, I want that to be that color. And notice, because I'm using these 4 things on every single person or every single category that I'm measuring against, it's really easy to kind of get a consistency happening. So my text color here, I'm going to go, last one is red, so it's my arranged one. And see that I've got D2 to D58 to I58, so it's just looking at those cells. I can do D2 to I1000 if I wanted to, and it would just keep on going. I can add rules or I can take rules if I want them, but that's what I want at the moment. If I go save rules, what happens now, you'll see it's taken away made the words the same color as the foreground, and this is now means that I can go, oh, this kid's a bit below par, oh, they're in trouble there, they're not too bad, they're going fantastic there. So now that I've got my 4 colors, I can actually know what's going on. So for Betty Bet, working with others in application and class is not very good, especially in that English class. But on another day, this is what happened. So you can actually start getting a picture of what's going on, and then you can have that conversation with the student. If the teacher in here adds a comment, it just adds a bit more depth to it. So that is a really easy way of getting your information in, creating a form, then using that form to grab your data. Once you have your data, then putting it in a sheet and then analysing it. This then gives you the scope to be able to put in some interim measures to help these students before maybe the issues become too big, or also maybe look at those kids who are just cruising and what you can put in place to extend them. You can of course make this more detailed as you go, but this is just a quick snapshot showing you how you can do it.